For the players.
See the wheezes of pain. Don't worry, it's not the shitty conversation. It's just my back.
Yeah, no shitty conversations. Just this show. I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And I'm Paul James.
This is For the Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation Podcast. With over 50 years of playing PlayStation and like, I don't know how many years, like 20, 25 years in that game's big. But I thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to join us in future conversations, come and check out our socials, Facebook, Discord, Instagram, X. You can find those links in the description below. If
you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturists, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. Watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, with comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/the PopCulturist. But dear God, gents, what a week it has been.
That's for you two.
Well, just for us mostly. You've had a whole different week for a different reason, but we'll get to that in a moment. So we had an unexpected week off, as both Max and I, in almost like sequential fashion, both had our computers just utterly shit themselves. So Max, you lay the groundwork. What fucking happened? Because you were the one that, like, you were the first, and then it rolled into me.
Yeah, so essentially my my desktop decided to run a Windows update, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work. So the next time I booted my computer on, it got stuck in a repair boot loop, so I just couldn't get past anything. Luckily, my laptop updated fine, so I just bought a new hard drive, reinstalled Windows, booted the computer up that way, copied and pasted everything off my old drive, and then wiped it and reinstalled Windows. So I'm now running 2 different versions of Windows on my PC. So if that shit ever happens again, I've got a backup that I can just boot from and not have to worry about things anymore.
So that's the fun part, right? Is Max messages me and goes, "Oh man, my fucking Windows just borked everything." I'm like, "That sucks, dude. That sucks really hard." And in the back of my head, I'm like, and then sure enough, within like 48 hours, I got hit with the same update problem. My computer wouldn't get out of that repair loop. But what makes it worse, and this is the problem that you and I were facing, Max, is once you hit once Windows started to try boot, as part of the borked update, all our USBs are dead. None of them are reading, nothing. So you're trying to you want to click the button to say, yeah, just try to repair from this fucking thumbstick or try to repair from the internet. Do something, but it won't work. So mine took a little bit longer because I had to do a little bit more dick-assing around, but we got there. Like, this stream may be hot shit. The recording may be absolute shit as well, because I have no idea what the settings were. I have no idea what they are right now, because I was reliant on like all of us being in this one call. And also, side note, we use Discord for this. Why don't we switch like Riverside or something? Wouldn't that be like better?
Motherfucker.
Yeah, he's right. Riverside, motherfucker. Good. That's a very good like 2008 reference there, Patch. Thank you.
But the issue is that Discord is free and Riverside is not.
Isn't it?
No.
Fuck that. Yeah. So mute in the chat. So for context, what we do is I have Discord open with the 3 faces, and then I just like screen capture the screen and cut it up into other
we used to tell the story in full. We used to separately record our audio, but I would often pause my recording because I'd dick around on my computer at the same time.
Yep.
So there would be times where I'd be like, "Oh, I have not been recording for the last 5 minutes. My bad."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to combat that, you're just like, "Fuck you. We're just doing it this way now."
Well, look, yeah. To battle both our ADHDs of like my absolute impatience and your inability to sit fucking still, it did cause a little bit of drama back in the day. But look, I'll tinker with it over the week. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. We're fucking back, at least. And there's Padge, who's sitting like right in his space. Windows is fine. No concerns at all.
Jeez, I was shitting bricks though.
Yeah.
You guys were sending the messages, and where was I? What day of the week was this?
Happened to me on Friday, and I think Ryan messaged me on the Saturday afternoon saying, "Yeah, mine's fucked too."
Yeah, mine took me the better part of a week to get back up and running.
I was like, I've dodged a temporary bullet because I'd recorded patch the night before, and I did the full upload and got it all done same night. But then I'm like, fuck, what's going? And I was wherever it was, I was gone all day, so I was just shitting bricks the whole time. Came home, nothing. Like, oh, suck shit, those guys. But yeah, we're back at it. It's good.
Yeah. That's all good. And look, there's only like a weird minor like video delay, which is annoying me. But Padge has fixed himself and he's no longer delaying anymore, which tells me it's a fucking Discord setting on my side, or it's maybe my cam link or something. I don't know.
All I'll say is I've checked out the stream while we're recording, and you two still delayed, just like what I'm seeing in the Discord.
Damn. All right, well,
rock solid.
All right, well, that tells us it's a Discord issue then. Oh, hot. But yeah, like you had a different week though, Padge.
I have had a different week. My back's cooked.
What'd you do?
I woke up that way.
Yeah, just being old.
Yeah. I woke up that way Saturday morning. And
you're like, oh, this human update's balked me. There's some bone.
And today it was just chaos. I had to set up exams at my school for all of my year 10s. And
I was going to say, because all the year 12s,
all my staff were.
All the year 12s are done, right?
Yeah, they're done. They're all done. Sorry, that expression, everyone who's watching the video version, was me trying to move in my seat. And feeling immense pain the moment I did it. This morning, just setting up some year 10 ones. Don't know where the rest of my colleagues were, but I was doing it on my own. And I'm glad I had about 40 minutes up my sleeve because it took a long time to shuffle those tables around.
With a busted ass spine.
With a busted back, yeah. It'll be fine in like 24 hours. It does this maybe 2 or 3 times a year where it just slips. Probably a slip disc, to be honest, but like it slips. 3-4 days of like discomfort and agony. And all of a sudden I'm fine again. I don't know how or why it happened in the first place, and I don't know how or why I'm fine again, but I'm off to the races. One of these days, should go to an osteo.
I had something similar to that on Friday, actually. Like, I woke up and my jaw hurt. I'm like, that's weird. And the end of the night, because I weirdly didn't eat all day.
Sorry.
I know, like, my concern was, like, what have I done in my sleep? And, like, when I told Phoebe, she's like, you've been sucking dick in your sleep? And I'm like, who's?
There we go. Good.
You fuck? Like, the only thing it explains, did you punch me?
Got a bit of a cock jaw.
Yeah, but a cock jaw. But either way, like, the muscle, like, right here, right up top of my pretend beard area, right? It was just fucking killing. So it wasn't until like Friday night when I went to have dinner and I ate something and I realized one side of my jaw was like the teeth were touching and the other side they weren't. I'm like, that's not good. So then I just proceeded to like fucking thumb massage my jaw for hours. It was very painful, but it worked. Also not a sex thing. I was just had to get the thing back. But yeah, it had no idea what I did, whether I must have clenched my jaw in my sleep or something fucking weird. And maybe like yourself, maybe you twisted your back in your sleep. You know, like who knows? We're all old. Our bodies do fucking super weird things. But did we discuss your other life change, like your employment life change last week? I think we said you mentioned.
I think we discussed it.
Yeah,
I think we've discussed in the past. I'm moving schools at the end of the year. I had a day at my new place the other day. Loved it. It was great.
Awesome.
But feeling a bit down in the dumps still about leaving what I've got. So
because how long you been at that
been a
school?
funny time. 8 years, but it's also the school I went to as a kid.
Oh no. That adds another layer.
There's some emotional ties there. It really bubbled up on Saturday night when I fully intended to get absolutely rat shit. And I was certainly well on my way with the few pints that I'd had at the pub beforehand. And the few beers that I knocked down when I arrived. And then all of a sudden speech time came along. And
you cried like a baby.
Got right in my feels. In fact, there's no crying here, but a colleague of mine was doing the dodgy and recording me throughout. So I'll just, like, for those who want to watch the video version, you can watch me start to get a little bit Might be here.
Oh,
I better make sure I'm framed okay. Just and eventually, like, look at those furrowed breath, like,
oh.
it's all going to shit.
Wah, wah. Yeah, that is heartbreak. That's genuine
He's
heartbreak.
questioning his life choices.
For those listening to the audio version, as most of you do, it's Padge looking super butthurt and sad as he looks over at all these students.
I need to
that he's
recognize
seen.
that I'm on camera.
But not looking down the barrel of the camera. You've acknowledged you're being filmed and just pop the bird, like without even looking at the camera. It was lovely. But yeah,
but
look,
I did give them what I'd promised. I make sure I usually do go big with these things, and I can't remember if I've spoken about this on the show, but last year there was a lot of videos going around of me rapping to Eminem's "Lose Yourself."
Oh, and you did a pretty
year,
solid job too, might I add.
The year 12s this year asked for something else. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but they asked for something else. They asked for Mr. Brightside, so I gave him Mr. Brightside on Saturday night too. I haven't seen any video of that yet. The alcohol really helped with the back, because let's also keep the backdrop here of my back being fucked.
Oh yeah, good point.
Like the back really, the alcohol kind of freed everything up. But it could be also why the pain is far worse than usual now.
Yeah, you got like all cocky and confident. You're like, I can bust out. I could do this cha-cha slide. Check this out. And
well, these sorts of events have done me in the past. I dislocated a shoulder playing basketball, netball.
Oh damn!
One or the other. The night before a year 12 graduation at my old school, rolled in the next day in a sling. Went to the graduation that night in a sling. But before you knew it, I was double parked, beer in one hand, the next one in the sling. When you've done your shoulder, when you've done your shoulder, your arm's up real high. So the next one is sitting here in the sling, ready to go. And then before you know it, the arm's out of the sling, going, "Look, everything's fine. Woo! No worries."
Oh, big pain.
Which then could probably, I may as well just whip out my phone one more time, can cycle to one more
let's do
iconic Padge the teacher moment that hit Instagram the next morning. Which reads, sorry, because my thing's reversed, but it reads hungover.
Oh no, it's straight. It's the right way for all.
Oh, it's then flips back. Cool. Oh yes, I see it in the stream. Good, flip the right way.
But
yeah.
What was it?
I tend to go hard and go and there's a go hard or go home thing, and this was a weird middle ground. This one.
Oh man, no, that was cool. I'm like I said, I'm saddened that you have this, have that feeling for this moment. But yeah, it's a good time to go off and do something cool and new, and why the fuck not, right?
Oh yeah, no, it'll be. I mean, and look, since I think we last spoke about it, I've now been appointed a year level leader at the new school, so there's some extra money.
Oh, because I remember you were saying you're doing some extra things.
Yeah, the whole thing was going to be a money play. That's all it was for me. Is like I need a bit of extra money coming in the door, otherwise I just wouldn't have left in the first place. Something I continually have to remind leadership there. Go, no, it's not because I hate you. You're just not paying me well enough.
Money. They're like, why are you leaving, Padge? Like, money.
So,
fell out.
I sold out to the private system.
Look, as someone that's currently just working 2 casual jobs, yes, money would be awesome.
Yeah,
money would be great.
It's not what makes the world go round, but it's also what makes the world go round.
Yeah, look, it's one of those like, oh, money doesn't make you happy. You're like, yeah, says the fucker that has lots of money. But either way, look, one of the things that money can do for us, which is really sweet, it can allow us to play some games. Let's get into the section, what we have been playing. Now, gents, is there anything, like, Max, when we did a pre-show ramble, you're like, yeah, I haven't done dick.
I mean, I've dabbled in a few things, like Where Winds Meet came out. I've put a couple of hours into that. I've played something that I can't talk about yet. I've played more Hades.
GTA 6.
Man, it's so good. You thought your PS4 was going to take off when you played
anything
games. The fucking PS5's just rumbling as it attempts to boot GTA 6.
Its plates are wobbling and then just snap off the side of it.
They just get so horny for it, they just fucking strip off. But no, I haven't. It's been assessment week for class, so I've been fucking coding for 2.5 weeks.
All right. Well, in that case,
fun.
I will jump in. So last time we were here, excuse me, we did spend a bit of time previously on For the Players. We were discussing what would the next game be for Phoebe, right? And after some discussions and some considerations, we did have a bit of a side tangent. We went.
It became Fortnite.
Detroit Become Human.
No, it was Detroit Become Human is a dope pick, but it was not Detroit. So initially, I randomly got the urge to play Rock Band. So we started playing Rock Band for a little while. And Phoebe, having never played it before, she was like, well, let's give it a bill. So she was playing bass. It's pretty simple, on easy, the 3 notes. And she was getting it. She was really starting to get into that groove and get into that motion, which was really cool. Oh, that's right, because we just fell down a rabbit hole on YouTube about like... because there's a channel called Drumeo, which is really cool. That's where they have like musicians come in and they're like, "Hey, have you heard this song before?" And they give them a bunch of songs. They still find the one they haven't heard before, and then they get them to play their version of what that would be. So, an example, they get Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers to do his version of "The Kill" by 30 Seconds to Mars. They have the drummer from Megadeth do a version of Mr. Brightside, which has this weird halftime parts, but then has stacks of double kick. Like, it's really weird, but really awesome. And then we found a similar channel.
Smith, Bring Me the Horizon one.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, he's
the fucking
so
the tribal drums.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Then we found a bass one as well, because Phoebe's was a former bass player where I played drums in my time. We got really locked into that. Watched a thing about the Chili's, watched Flea. We watched a thing about the bass player for Limp Bizkit, and that was really sick. So I was like, you know what? Neither of us have access to the actual musical instruments, but let's jam together. Let's have some fun. So we started we started the career mode as part of the world tour. If anyone that may remember Rock Band 4 back in the day, it had the base game, and then a little while later they released an expansion called Rivals. And the whole idea of it is they made like a docudrama, like one of those old VH1s behind the music, but it's just this made up scenario of these bullshit characters that you've created. So we made Phoebe, we made myself, we made a couple, and I forget what the name of our band was, but it was dumb. Like, not as dumb as the original time I played it back in 2016 when it came out, because Josh, former co-host of For the Players back in the day, the bands that we created, we had one called Fartbox and one called Dick Butt, and either one of them...
Classics. Oh,
great names. They are, bands of a particular time. But yeah, something to do about monsters and whatever. Either way, we had some fun, had a good jam sesh. It was really cool. We haven't gone back, mostly because I was playing the Thick Juicy Monsters. That's right, Thick Juicy Monsters. Thank you, Phoebe. Yeah, like that's the thing, and it was built by the game. We picked the game. Went here you go. Went yes, yes. The answer is Thick Juicy Monsters. Yeah. So I gave Phoebe...
The references are flowing.
Yep.
Long and hard.
Oh, of course.
And
that was the name of our first tour, Long and Hard. So she was playing the Rock Band Fender, which I normally play, but I was like, you use this one, I'll use the Guitar Hero 5 guitar that I have, which is so fucking squeaky. It is disgusting. And then thankfully I discovered the cracked guitars again the next day, which Max, I asked you to go check out at PAX, and you were like, they went there. And I was like, oh, it's a bumhole.
That's not what I said at all. I said I played one, but okay.
Oh, my apologies. In my memory, I thought you were like, yeah, they weren't there, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So my apologies.
Like, they're there, and they're mad fucking expensive. I think they were like $220.
Yeah, it's about right. Yeah. So they're like this week they announced they're releasing a Gibson SG to look like the original Guitar Hero 2 controller. So that'd be pretty cool. Excuse me, but I think after Yote, I wanted to try something a little different. Hence, the Rock Band seemed like a good idea. We spitballed some ideas around, and the thing, like when I asked
You're
Phoebe,
also doing a drum kit.
Yes, Yes, and it's built like the Band Hero guitar, Band Hero drum set, which makes me even happier. So yeah, I was discussing with Phoebe, like, okay, like what were the parts of Yotei that you really enjoyed? What were the things that made you like love it? Sorry, while I clear my throat.
And the answer was she had none.
She goes, well, I like the world and the characters are really cool and I like the dynamics of everyone. I was like, okay, cool. So my suggestion was, why don't we play Red Dead? Which is something that Max recommended. So we jumped into Red Dead Redemption 2. Again, this is now like my 7th time of trying to play it. Fuck, that game is awesome. It is awesome. It is consistently rad. I love Arthur. I love the way it plays. I love the world. I love going around and doing the things. So we're still like early in chapter 1 because admittedly we spend a bit more time just hunting and dick-assing around. But I have then also returned to my save as well so I can work alongside that. Because the idea was I wanted a game that we could play together. But at least, you know, having played up until like chapter 4 or 5 previously, if she was to go on a tear without me, it's fine. I've seen all this. I've done all this. Yeah, well, we can finish the game together, which is a bit different. Mute. It jumps in the chat. I thought you jumped into 1 because of the PS5 upgrade next month. No, I did not. We did consider going to number 1, but yeah, number 2 is so much better as like a world as everything about it. So 2 is fantastic. But really enjoyed messing about in that. Just what a game. Like there were a couple of things that Phoebe had challenges with initially. One of them was how comparatively to Ghost of Yotei, Arthur, it's real heavy. You know, there's a lot of like slow, sluggish movements as you move him around, a lot of pressing and holding to open chests, etc. And with the same button doing a lot of different things, so just, you know, and the controls kind of sluggish comparatively. She'd find herself trying to do one thing, but you know, Arthur would keep turning. It'd be a whole thing. But she's starting to get around it. She got through the snow section nice and quick. I know everyone complains about the beginning of that game. She did it without, at least my understanding, too much of a concern. But it is really nice to be back in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. So probably have more to say over the coming weeks around that as we continue to go deeper and deeper into it. However, one game that I'm continuing to get deeper and deeper in is Powerwash Simulator. I've discussed it over the many, many weeks. I am now like 2, 3-ish, 4-ish levels, like somewhere between 2 and 4 like levels to finish the career mode, which I'm genuinely impressed by. But the downside, though, gents, is I forgot to pay attention to trophies because I thought trophies would just be tied to finishing the level. So I've got through like half the game, and I went, I haven't popped any trophies yet. This is fucking weird. So I went in and looked at the trophy list, and they're all like, do X thing in Y level. I was like, you son of a bitch. So I've now, since every level I've done my very best to try get it. There are a couple that I, fucked up a little bit. So I'll go back and do them in like the free play mode. Like one of the ones I just did was there's a big statue of a hand and you've got to do it with just the shittiest nozzle. So it took way longer than it needed to. But yeah, it has been the game that I've just had on in the background. I've put a podcast on and I've just power wash shit. It is weird, not weirdly because I love these kind of games. It is just so relaxing and calming, but intriguing. And it clearly, excuse me, as as I rewatch the video at the end of the level, it's like, hey, here's how I swept through it. You can see that it is really meticulous. I do have a system that I like to use, and it's clearly just properly enjoying the autistic part of my brain rather than funneling like the ADHD part of my brain with the games that I play. Pardon me. I hopefully will then move to Powerwash Simulator 2 in the near future. That'd be fun as well. But let me think. Outside of that, I mentioned that I got the Death Stranding 2 Platinum last time.
Do you want me to Been 2 weeks.
Oh, well, I've got I also got the Death Stranding 2 Platinum. I got that, about a week, a little bit after Phoebe got I was writing this down. Before, excuse me. Sorry, a little bit after Phoebe got her Yotai Platinum, I was like, all right, well, now that that's done, I'm just going to go back. The biggest challenge for me was kind of 5-starring all the places. Because, Max, I know that you, in your playthrough, because I know, Pad, you still haven't played it yet, you didn't really focus on the 5-starring at all. You just kind of did what you needed to and kept going, yeah?
For most of them, I looked at the whatever their like depository of information was called.
In the SSS or whatever.
Game. And basically went, because you can see what upgrades you could get by 5-starring certain things. So I only focused on the ones that I wanted. So like getting the silenced sniper rifle was a big one, so I went and did that. The bolo gun was another one that I went and did. So there were a few that I 5-starred, but not many.
But so that was a challenge, because I looked at the trophy list and it's like, oh, hey, you've got X amount, X amount left. And I was like, where the flying fuck are they? Because I can't find them. And then I entirely remembered that there was this whole window of time that we were in Mexico at the beginning of the game that I totally forgot about. So I had to go back there and clear out them as well. But yeah, like really cool achievement, because there's an interesting mission towards the end where you have to save what is Tasmania, or F8, from a...
Don't worry about it. It's not worth it.
Well, that was my original consideration, but there was a trophy connected, and I was like, you son of a bitch. Where you've got to prevent it from a giant void out where one of those big fucking face dudes rock up. And that was a good fun fight. What a really good game. Padge, it's astounding to me that you are yet to play it.
Just keeps getting away from me. Simple as that, really. From the original, and then I'm not going to jump into 2 without playing 1. I think that's obviously the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would be insane to play 2 without 1. But instead, what have you been playing?
Dabbled in a few different things. So, as is documented online, but I can't really talk about it, I have been playing Octopath Traveller 0.
Mm-hmm.
I had a preview embargo that I hit, I don't know, a week and a half ago now.
Well, is there anything you can talk to us about from the preview?
It's very limited in terms of what I can... like gameplay-wise, it's mostly what people are familiar with.
Okay, even if you just repeat what you wrote in your preview, like that's fine. Yeah,
I'll just sit here and read it. No, if you... Oh, yeah, that's right. That video game does that shit.
Oh, I did that thing.
Like, if you're not a fan of, like, turn-based, slower combat, then it's still not going to be for you, regardless of whether they've got those turbo modes and those sort of things that they've introduced into it, because just mechanically speaking, like, it's still only as fast as you choose to make it, and the option, wheeling through your options and that sort of thing. But I guess that, like, the framing narratively of Octopath Traveller previous games had been, you've got your cast of characters, your 8 of them, and you head off on essentially 8 different adventures that all then come together at the very end. In this case, it doesn't work that way. You can have a party with update characters in it, but there's actually like predetermined stories that. They're all predetermined stories in the other games, but like their stories focused on external characters, the villains, and you're kind of following a villain's arc, like each of these 3 different main villains' arcs, as well as then a 4th story which is about rebuilding your town, which gets burnt to a crisp in the game's prologue. It's shaping up really well. There's been some really interesting changes so far. So for people that aren't aware, there was a mobile game in the Octopath universe. It was Champions of the Continent. It's basically a remake of that, but then with a lot of console-friendly things, lots of expansions to the story, lots of other mechanics being introduced. It's working really, really well. So got a lot of love for it so far, based on what I can say. There's also a shit ton that I cannot say. So.
But yeah, as Mute in the chat says, there was a mobile game for Octopath. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Champions of the Continent. Yeah, and it did very well apparently.
Wow.
Yeah,
So they've gone, fuck it, let's double dip and let's put this bad boy out on consoles as well and just touch it up a little bit.
So is Octopath Traveller 0 out yet?
No, it's out December 4th. So we've got about 10 days, everyone. I'll
Nice.
talk about it again next week. And
I was
still
gonna
say
say,
next, nothing about it then too.
I was gonna say, yeah. Like, are you going to mention what the embargo date is, or is that locked as well?
Yeah, that's locked as well. Closer to launch.
All right. So sometime in the near future, you'll be able to hear Padge talk about Octopath Traveller, whether it be over at player2.net.ie or here, or Padge.
Both. How about both?
Everywhere.
And there'll be another game that comes out that week that I'll have a bit to talk about as well. But
Anything else you've been jamming?
Yeah, actually. So as well as that, obviously it was 2 weeks ago that I was talking about how excited I was for the finale of Dispatch.
Oh,
That's now
yes.
come out. And I won't say it was like a 10 out of 10 ending, but they didn't fuck it like The Sopranos or Dexter or a bunch of other shows that kind of went to shit at the end.
I heard the new patch allows you to actually get the platinum trophy now.
Oh, was there something that was an obstacle? I wasn't like those sorts of games, unless it's very easy, like the old Telltale sort of games, then I'm not going to chase it because I'm kind of big on this story is my story and I don't want to go and re-experience it and have that kind of fucked around with. But that's, I guess, interesting to hear because, yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people chasing it. I'm sitting on 22 out of 36 trophies in that game at 60%. So it'll probably stay that way, most likely. But there are lots which is, you know, you gave this person, a lot of them are framed around how the story specifically ends. Like you made this choice, you didn't make this choice. This person ended up being a good person. This person wasn't. Like there's a fair few of those, which if I just make a few very binary choices, it'll fix it. But,
well, because from my understanding, which I was unaware of, because in my head, when you explained it was made by Telltale people, so I had in my head, it had a bit more exploration-y sort of things, like wandering around, walking, doing stuff. But no, apparently
they stopped doing that after the first season of The Walking Dead. They stopped doing that.
Well, that's one I remember because I played that and Batman, I think.
No, everything else was basically on rails adventures at that point, and you just made your choices, and that might take you on a different track, but yeah.
So this is still because I was under the impression that maybe Dispatch would have gone a bit down that route, but no, apparently it is like you are just making dialogue choices essentially.
Well, there's the whole Dispatch gameplay sequence, like that pop up multiple times in most episodes where you've got your party of reformed supervillains or reforming supervillains, and you send them off on their different missions to go and save a cat from a tree and go fight off this bunch of douchebags who are setting fire to this place. And like there's all those sorts of things, which like when the game is at its absolute best, the larger narrative and the twos and fros of the relationships that you've got established with some of the characters there actually infiltrates the Dispatch mode, and someone who you've really pissed off might just go, no, fuck you, and disappears during the Dispatch sequence, which is great. There's also one guy who's perpetually depressed.
Oh,
whenever you send him out,
I can relate to that guy. On a mission. Go on him. What a dude.
It's very entertaining the way they deliver it, though. But anyway,
nice. So like we'll be talking about nominations shortly, but like do you believe it should have been, because you said it was not a 10 out of 10, but you've waxed lyrical about this game for so
the finale
long.
Wasn't a 10 out of 10. Like I think the whole experience, like it's a solid 8 out of 10 for the last hour. Like you're still going to be really enjoying it.
Sorry, Max, you had a question?
Like the whole experience is amazing.
No, I'm good.
Oh, sorry, you started speaking.
It absolutely belongs in the conversation. So, no, it's definitely worthy of being there in that conversation. It's obviously, we'll talk about the Game Awards and stuff later. But like, it's been nominated for a few different awards, but didn't get the Game of the Year nomination. And
that
honestly,
could have also
been really, really close.
That could have also been because it hadn't completed at that point.
It could be as simple as that too. Yeah.
Because go ahead.
Which is a really awkward one for it being.
Nominations closed on the 21st of November, so it was out. It was finished before then.
Oh, okay.
It was out prior to 3 days ago, right?
Oh, so
nominations would have had to have closed before that. It's been like
voting. You mean voting's closed?
Yeah, the voting would have closed before, even sooner. So
the eligibility cutoff for Game Awards 2025 is November 21st.
Didn't they announce the games that were nominated before that though?
Yeah,
November
probably.
21st was only last Friday.
I'm
No, it's fine.
No, we believe you. It's just it doesn't make sense.
Bloody oath, I'm going to shoot the messenger.
And you know what? I'm not going to check it.
Yeah, no. Anyway.
So like
Dispatch.
What else? Where has been playing?
Age of Empires 4.
Oh, yeah, chat about that.
I mean, it's Age of Empires. I didn't get it in a Nutri-Grain box, but it's still Age of Empires. What I really like, and obviously there was all the piss taking about the amount of trebuchet talk when the game was revealed. I think it was maybe the Xbox's June showcase where they just went a little bit heavy-handed with it. But where it was too heavy-handed in that particular setting, it's amazing in game. Like you'll go to, especially when it comes to the campaign, you'll go to choose your next sequential mission. And you get this amazing little cutscene, which is, well, not even cutscene. It's more like an FMV. Like you'll see modern day, wherever it is in London or France or whatever it happens to be. And you'll see cars moving around and people just going about their day. And then this little digital overlay just comes over the top of it where all of a sudden you're seeing these historical battles being reenacted and how people were positioning in this around this old fort that's now very run down, but you can kind of extrapolate and go, geez, that was pretty impressive for its time. Like they've that passion really shines through in those sorts of things. And then like that sets the stage for the mission. And then you go off and do it, and that's the usual thing, a few walls and send your people out in different directions and kill people. It's fun. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, they announced them on Friday morning for us.
Which
was the 21st.
Time zone's completely fucked me. That's all right.
Oh. So back to Game Awards. We're talking about the fucking trebuchets.
I'm like, hang on, am I crazy?
I mean, yes, but okay. No, I'm not. Apparently, we are too.
We're all
so that's they added the PS5 launch came at the same time of a new DLC where they've actually added, unsurprisingly to anyone, they've added a roguelite mode to the game. Because every game needs a roguelite.
That is the new hotness.
But it's okay. Like you kind of set up and you'll gradually build yourself up, and maybe you get your ass kicked somewhere along the way, but then like you'll get resources that can carry into future runs, and it does, like you can see that loop playing out. It's a really interesting one.
So how does it play on a controller?
Don't know how much.
Though?
It's called the Crucible, by the way. Yeah, fine for the most part. Like there's no substitute for a mouse and keyboard in a game like that, as much as I hate to admit it. But it's pretty solid. What I think I said I'd do last time we spoke, and I've forgotten to do it, was actually
plug your keyboard in.
Go plug my mouse and keyboard in and just take it for a spin that way. But
nice. Yeah, because now that you spend
a bit
more time
for the sake
with
of the actual review thing, I'm playing it on PS5, so I'll review it like a PS5 game. But
because that was one of the other games that had been considered for Phoebe as well. She mentioned that she was formerly a big fan of Age of Empires, and acknowledged like what you mentioned there a moment ago about there being that mode, the campaign. You see the real world location. Excuse me. Fuck.
Die quietly.
Hay fever's killing me, man. It's still consistently shitting me. It's horrible. Yeah, so like with her being a big history buff, especially like an archaeology buff too, having like little moments where it's like, see this castle, this is what it could have looked like, because that's exactly all her time team bullshit. So like that could be of interest. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Definitely worth checking out.
Nice. And anything else that you've added? Because if I have a relook at my list,
I can toss one more game in there.
Yeah, sure. Throw in there. What you got?
So I had no idea that this game existed. I got a press release about it, but I get like 25 of those a day, and I deleted it really quickly.
Oh yeah.
And then I was on. Hey.
Black Ops 7.
Actually, fortunately, I don't get those press releases, but
me either. Since they got purchased, bastards, they don't get their emails anymore.
Matt gets them all. Matt works with Activision. I don't. And then I went on Twitter and I saw Housemarque tweeting about a game called Sektori, which is basically it's a game that's been made by ex Housemarque devs. It's going for the whole, remember they said arcade is dead. Well, this is someone from the team that clearly went, no, fuck that. I'm making an arcade game. And so formed a team, made this game called Sektori. Gives off a whole lot of Super Stardust vibes, but also very Geometry Wars. And like classic Geometry Wars before they decided they wanted to try and before, what was their name? What was that developer team's name? Anyway, they got bought up by Activision at one point because then Geometry Wars 3 came out and it clearly took a bit of inspiration from Housemarque actually with what's the shit? It was the PS4 launch game.
Oh, Resogun.
Where you kind of Resogun, thank you. Where it was a little bit more 3D and kind of tubular shape. This is flat planes. It's hard as shit. Like I know there's some genres that I'm no good at. Twin stick shooters is something I'm pretty fucking good at, and this game is clowning me out. And I just took a look, like while we were, getting into the show, and just taking a look at PSN profiles because it's obviously not going to be every single person who plays it, but
and of course
certainly
PSN
the
profiles are
hardcore
opt-in as well, and
it is opt-in
by the
but it
hardcore.
certainly, it gives you a snapshot as to how people are going. There's one person that's got 60% of the trophies.
No one's got
31, 25, like not even close. More than half the people playing have 1% of the trophies like I do. And that's just for completing the first level, which I spent 2 hours trying to do. On the game's normal, casual, whatever the lowest difficulty is.
Wait, sorry, hang on. 2 hours on the lowest difficulty?
Yeah, just to try and get through that first level.
Damn.
Like, it's hard as shit. It's really, really good. Like, I'm absolutely loving my time. But it is hard as balls. And honestly, those who
what about it
further
so
than me,
hard though? Like, what's causing that?
I'm watching the trailer, and it's just a clusterfuck of shit on your screen.
Oh, so it's
all
like
times.
okay, all right.
But
let me have a
that's okay. Like that's very Geometry Wars. Like that's what Geometry Wars is like, where there was shapes and shit flying at you everywhere, and you do like.
How the hell do you spell it?
Sektori.
Sektori.
Like it's a really, really
yeah,
fun, and like, you're navigating your way through the space. You get like, I've played a lot of Geometry Wars back in the day. You do kind of settle back into that sort of thing, which is you kind of almost without looking, you're using your right stick to point where you're aiming, while you actually just focus on making sure that your ship navigates through the little gaps that are created along the way. Like I've resettled into that, but it's just like some of the design of it. So I don't know if the trailer actually shows it, but like it's not just one single surface that doesn't change, like what you saw in Geometry Wars. Parts of it will just up and disappear and then return. And so like you'll see the ground underneath you start to flash red and then boom, it just vanishes within a few seconds. You need to boost out of the space, which is really, really hard when you're not necessarily accounting for that. You're, fully intent is I'm heading to this side of the screen because there's this power up here, or there's whatever your rationale happens to be. You're shooting your way through that. So then you've got a whole bunch of other enemies flying up behind you to come after you, only for the ground to start to, oh shit, this thing's going to disappear. You've got, I don't know, 2-3 seconds, maybe tops, to get yourself out of that space. You've cleared the path in front of you, but not the one that you now need to quickly backtrack through to go behind. The ground disappears, boom, game over for you. And the bosses, like, they move really, really fast. So like it's pretty brutal navigating. I think there's a bit of balancing that just needs to be done. I really, really like the game, but there is some balancing stuff that needs to be done.
I know this is happening with a lot of games as of late, but it does have that, like, was it Vampire Survivors feel to it? But just could because it's a drop down fucking bullet hell. It's drop down. I mean, top down.
Yeah.
Hell.
Look, I guess Geometry Wars games like this were doing it before. Yeah, before Vampire Survivors.
Well, because I'm seeing there's like a lot of words like flashing up, and there's numbers everywhere, and like I guess probably the most recent example for folks, but it does also look like what cartoons. Whenever cartoons need to demonstrate someone getting really stoned, this is normally what it looks like. Like it's just color. It is just shapes. It kind of looks like. What are those little kaleidoscopy thingies we've had when we were kids?
Kaleidoscope.
Is it called a kaleidoscope?
Oh, yeah. Kaleidoscopes.
Yeah. It looks like the kaleidoscope thing, which is also affectionately known as a kaleidoscope. It looks crazy. I gotta check that out.
But like, I do recommend it. I I do think the game needs a bit of work to really stick the landing, but I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. Yeah, it's just balance. Balance is the major thing that this game needs, just to be a bit more accessible. And it's not like I would love, and I'm sure like Max would probably jump at the opportunity to just clown me out on being shit at games. Look, he's just laughing in the background at my expense. Fuckwit. Don't know if you can hear
He's
me.
clearly talking to his wife. I was just about to ask him a question, being like, "Is this a Max game?" And then he proceeds to look off camera and chuckle.
I only had 3.
Only 3.
Well, it seemed silly to open 2 packets of the same biscuits.
Shit.
Okay.
That is Max game, though.
I love
Yeah,
only the final
no,
2
it's
sentences
not,
of that
actually.
discussion. Really?
As much as I enjoyed Geometry Wars, it's too much. I was just one of the games that I've been playing that I can't talk about has a similar vibe, and I just
because very similar like Thumper.
Much.
Like Thumper was also very visually intense like that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's a real like
It hurts my old man eyes.
EDM pulsing sort of feel about it.
I was trying to allude to a game that is similar to the game that we're not allowed to talk about, but like had the same vision, like Thumper, I guess. Probably the safest bet, but yeah, not for you.
No.
It does look like it's a concern if you have epilepsy, which is dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Don't have epilepsy.
Nah, instead
Obviously.
Well, maybe that's why I'm not passing level 1. I'm tripping out and I don't realize it.
Well, look, 2 out of the 3 of us have ADHD, and we spent 46 minutes talking about up until this point. So let's get to this section we call Inform the Players. We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation. Now, Max, this is a little bit of the last 2 weeks worth of news, but not really too much happened.
I'm just going to quickly touch base on the state of play from last week. I didn't put it in the news doc because I couldn't be bothered. Obviously there was a state of play last week, just before we would have recorded. It was mainly games for the Asian market.
Yeah, it was like essentially
a
targeted as like the Japan one.
Yeah, it was the state of play Japan announcement. So we did get a lot of stuff that we had seen before. So we got more Dynasty Warriors stuff, more Sonic Racing stuff. Digimon Time Story got its first DLC announced. We saw, and then they kind of just back-ended with a bunch of Square Enix stuff. So we got Dragon Quest 7, Octopath Traveller.
That's when the demo got announced, Max, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. I even watched it live too. Completely forgot about it. Monster Hunter Wilds is getting some new content. And then there was just a ton of other the biggest news obviously was Elden Ring Night Rain scoring some DLC, which drops on the 4th of December. So anything that's coming out then is just going to get completely ignored for Elden Ring for me.
Metroid and Octopath.
Yeah.
Oh man, Sektori was on Keymailer, but it's no longer no longer requestable. Dang.
I can help you with that. Don't worry about it.
Sweet. Yeah, give me a seizure. Let's go.
My boy.
It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Artorias, the Dark Knight Artorias is back for Elden Ring, which is cool.
Yeah, that was an interesting reveal at the end.
Yeah, there wasn't too much. I think so essentially, from what I can see, they've added 2 new bosses, 1 new shifting earth, 2 new playable characters, and just some fresh enemies, which would be cool. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty JRPG heavy announced fest, and if that's not your jam, then there wasn't really much of interest there. Other than that, there wasn't too much news last week. It seems like we picked a good time to just not do anything. But this week, Sony has welcomed us back with a brand new hub app. So the new update went live, I think, at the start of last week. And we now have animated themes again, which is nice. I'm rocking their seasonal one, so it's nice and springy at the moment. it came with a new widget which allows you to track your recently played games. So currently mine are Paw Patrol on a roll, Paw Patrol World, and Rocket League. And apparently I've played way too much Rocket League. So like 1,700 hours and
Look,
like 300 odd sessions.
My greater concern is why you're not playing Paw Patrol Mighty Pups, because that's way better than on a roll. Like a lot better than.
Ah, look, my kid just plays all of them. She cycles through them. So, you know,
World though, I never messed with World.
she's finally stopped playing Astrobot, and she's picked up arguably a way shitter game.
Aggressively so. But even after she got her own like controller and everything.
Yeah. Well, her brother started watching Paw Patrol, so Paw Patrol is fresh in everyone's mind. She's like, "Hey, don't I have Paw Patrol games? Like, I'm pretty sure I have Paw Patrol games, right?" And I'm like, "I don't think you do." But they're all part of the fucking PlayStation Extra catalog, so I re-downloaded them for her.
Yeah, we were kindly provided codes way back in the day from Bandai and Square Australia, and at the time I was like, "Hey Max, you want to put these on the PopC?" You went, "No," because Hadley didn't exist then. So could have, but it's an easy plat though. If she ever wants to get a first plat,
she's got her first plat. It's Astrobot.
If she wants another plat, like it's piss. It's just play the game and collect the dog treats. Done.
Yeah.
But so was it 1,700 hours in Rocket League? That's kind of fucked.
It's nuts.
I can tell you exactly what it is. I'll pull up the photo. Hang on, where is
it?
Like
1,747 or something.
Chat before.
Yeah, 1737. I think it was
37.
1747 with 3,174 sessions played. That's still not even remotely close to my Final Fantasy Online gameplay time.
Yeah, mine yelled at me because last things I played was Red Dead. It's like 120 something hours.
How would you play that game for 120 hours? And
Craig and I played a fuckload of Red Dead Online.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Red Dead Online.
And I'm probably going to do it
again.
What
everyone did, where you like just fucking hog tie people and put them on the train tracks?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all I did in online.
Well, Craig and I, like, now that the root and toot and cowboy shooting is back in the rotation, I think Craig and I might return to the Red Dead Online, because like there's a handful of there's no way I'm ever going to get the platinum for Red Dead. The trophies are stupid. But like I'm like, what, I can go and get the let's fuck around with the online ones. That'd be fun. So we might go do that if you want to.
It's coming up to Christmas. Are we GTA Christmasing?
Well, that's funny because holy shit. So I was with a client today. I picked them up, took them to the shops, what they needed to do, and as they went off and they're like, "Hey, we're just gonna duck in, we'll back out." No worries. As he comes back in, he sits down. I just paid attention to his hat. He's wearing like a custom GTA hat, had the Cluckenbell logo on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man." And then I had the same thought. I was like, "Oh shit, we're approaching Christmas. Maybe I have to re-install 5 and get a yearly, week of getting super locked into GTA 5 for no reason."
Because it snows, man.
I did watch an interesting video though, complete tangent by the way, around GTA 5 and how what's the name of the bike that you can fly in online that just blows shit up?
The Oppressor.
The Oppressor, and how it proceeded to break the game.
Yeah, it did.
And then they released a counter vehicle to break it.
I'm the only one of my friends who has one. It's great. Comes in real handy.
That's what they said, because it kind of made like the game, it removed all the grind of the game, and then they countered it with a car that can then counter the bike, but then they had to create something that nullifies both of those vehicles. So it's essentially like Rockstar made a problem.
It's a one-person car, so if you want to do anything like team activities, the bike is useless.
Yeah.
Which is why the DeLorean is so good.
Well, I think that was the car that they mentioned was to sort of counteract it or something. But yeah, like what I'm hoping is if I return to Red Dead Online, and if we do it over this break, like maybe it'll be dead comparatively to GTA Online. Maybe we can, maybe we can just explore the Western, without too many hassles of being mooked by anyone. But wait and see. Padge, for yourself though, what would appear on what you've recently played dash? What would be those numbers?
The hours on those recently played, or just like my top played full stop?
Either or, because it's just pure coincidence. I think that like a game, because mine were Red Dead 2 and WWE 2K25, which both have collectively like 100 hours each minimum.
I've got to double check it again. I know,
Like, would it be
I know
Museum?
you can do it via the app, but I can't for the life of me. But yeah, from this year, 2 Point Museum would probably be the game I've played the most.
Have you played it recently?
And somewhat recently. It's in my top. What's that? 6. Yes, top 6 there. But my like all time, it's The Witcher 3 with like 300 hours or something.
Jesus, nice.
Do you guys don't play like those MMO style games or the forever games? Like my Destiny 2 numbers are huge. My Destiny numbers are huge. Rocket League is a game that I play on a daily basis, whether it's just like I play 1 or 2 matches and I peace out.
Comparatively to yourself, I most certainly don't have any of those. I think the only ones tend to be the WWE games, because at least once a week we play our GM mode, like which we're now into our 3rd season for the first time ever. So that's pretty sweet. Shout out to us. But yeah, that's probably my only quote unquote forever game or game that I return to like at least once a week. Yeah, but Pad, you're similar to myself. You don't really have a game like that. I guess
I don't have
Museum's Family Kid.
The recurring. I don't have the multiplayer game that I'll keep coming back to. Like the original Destiny came probably close for me. I put like well over 100 hours into that. Funnily enough, it's a newsworthy thing in the last week or two, but the original Guild Wars was an MMO that I spent a lot of time with. So I'm actually a little bit filthy that like they've announced this reforged version or whatever, and they're saying, oh, it's supported, like you can play it on Steam Deck or ROG Ally, which I have one of now, so like that could be cool.
Have you messed about with it much?
Not a lot. I've kind of spent a whole bunch of time installing games and then not actually playing them yet.
That sounds like every time I've had Game Pass.
That's what we do with our Steam libraries.
But shout out to Matt Houston who sent me his hand-me-down. And then
is that why you needed to go to the private sector to afford the?
Yeah, maybe. But to cover the Steam library that I'll start filling. No, I don't know. But they announced it was going to be
seasonal sales.
It was going to be compatible on deck and those sort of things. I'm like, great. Why don't you put it out on console then at the same time if you got it working on the sticks? Put it out there for another audience to like go check it out, and then that could be some sort of segue into, well, just getting console people familiar with the brand, which then leads into obviously all the stuff with Horizon, Steel, Frontiers, and all like. You can kind of connect these things a little bit.
Well, speaking of connecting those things, you're doing some accidentally on purpose awesome segues, because the next one, PC revenue with the PlayStation game. So a big report from Alinea Analytics estimates that Sony has made $1.5 bajillion, that's a bajillion with a B, from Steam since beginning to port its first-party titles to the PC storefront. That may seem like an enormous number, but it's worth noting it's taken 5 years to achieve this. Excuse me. For context, lost my spot. For context, the entire PlayStation division generated around $7 billion in revenue during the last quarter alone. The data firm points out that Sony is also on the hook to Valve for 30% of that total, so it took home approximately 1.2 of the aforementioned money made. According to its predictions, Helldivers 2 is by far the best-selling game Sony has released on PC, with Horizon Zero Dawn second, and then God of War third. What's interesting is that the sequels Sony's releasing on PC are not performing anywhere near as well as the predecessors. It's hypothesis that that Horizon Forbidden West has sold 3 times slower than Aloy's inaugural adventure, while the same phenomenon also applies to God of War Ragnarok and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. This slowing of sales suggests the novelty of Sony bringing its games to Steam is beginning to wear off, and the ports are not having the same kind of impact they once were. Reducing the delay between PS5 version and the PC release could help improve these sales, however, although Sony would need to weigh that against the impact on its own console, especially with the impending release of the Steam machine and Microsoft's own intent to transform Xbox into an open ecosystem. Now, Padge, as you were alluding to, as you are like now in possession of a portable PC, it does line you up to potentially play some of these PlayStation Studio games on your device. What's your stance on this report?
No way will I be doing that though. Unless I'm remote playing, from the thing, but I've got a portal, so why would I do that as well?
The PC and the PS5 trophy list are the exact same, so they share.
They're not two separate lists. They share it.
Yes, I'm saying.
So I'll just play it on my PlayStation then.
Good point.
I've got 3 PlayStations in the house, mate.
Fuck, good point,
Thanks, Sony, for 2 of those 3. So...
Oh, maybe we should talk about that too. 30th anniversary stuff. We'll get there. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, cool. So yeah, look, it doesn't wow me through that lens, and it doesn't surprise me that the numbers slowed. Like, I think there was always going to be an initial surge in interest, and then that was going to plateau and eventually slow down a little bit. I think the main thing is whether PlayStation is happy with the point, whether it's maybe fits projections, that the point it's kind of slowed to is what they had perhaps expected it to slow to. Because yeah, the initial surge was always going to be big, and I think there was a lot of people out there that would have been going, I want to send this message to PlayStation that's a worthwhile thing. I'll buy it. But then they may not continue to do that because, get it out there. This is great. More of my friends can play, but I don't need to play it myself because I can play it on my PlayStation. So I think they were always expecting it to slow. How much? I don't know. I don't know whether the data they've now got is in line with that. They are also, you get stories like The Last of Us Part 1 when it came to, was it Part 1 when it came to PC?
Oh,
and
Part 1 was so busted.
Actually, it was a balked mess and all those, like, you get a few stories
the
like that.
beautiful eyebrows that it gave Joel.
Yeah,
it was unplayable.
Yeah, like
we received a code and it was rough.
Yeah, I remember Matt saying the same thing. Like, that doesn't help the narrative, right? So,
I mean, the big takeaway from this, I think, is the fact that their best-selling game on PC was the game that they released straight away, which was Helldivers.
I think that's. Oh yeah, sorry, the day and date. Yeah.
Yeah. Once something falls out of the zeitgeist, it's not so, people aren't in such a rush to go out and get it once it's finally available to them. And
yeah, but I think
you can see that with the lack of sticking power for the sequels of the games that they've released on PC as well.
But I think that's the balancing act, right? Like, if you're PlayStation, you go, okay, what is the sweet spot here where we're not going to potentially cannibalize our sales on the primary platform? We still want our people to buy our console because that's where we make our money. But
sure.
What's there's these 2 different lines that they're trying to get to meet in the right spot, and I'm sure they'll continue to work their way through that one. But I'm also not surprised by Helldivers because they didn't believe in Helldivers. Like, they really did not believe in Helldivers in the lead up to launch. They put zero effort into marketing, and obviously once they realized what it became, they jumped on it then. But I also suspect that the team is mindful of that, and that's probably why they're going off in their own direction and working on whatever project comes next, and it may or may not require PlayStation's input. Like, yeah, I guess the game that they're like, yeah, fucking do whatever you want with it, is unsurprisingly the one that was the most successful because it hit PC day and date.
Yeah.
Yes, it's interesting. Like, yeah, it's a good solid number. So while you guys were chatting, I was trying to bring up... I remember there being a report many moons ago. They'd be like, oh, we're expecting X amount revenue or whatever from PC. Like, this is when they initially started putting it as their strategy. But I couldn't find the right keywords on Google to find what I'm looking for. But essentially, like, well, 1.5 billion is pretty tight. 1.2 billion is pretty tight. As Max put into the news, I do think a big part of it is that novelty. And once that novelty wore off, it became less and less appealing, especially when they are coming the better part of 18 months later at full price. Like Last of Us, it did run kind of poorly. Horizon was like the big first one off the bat, hence it makes sense why it did the big numbers. God of War was very similar. I think by extension,
Days Gone will be right up there as well because that was one that popped off.
Days Gone was actually, I did have. Let's have a look.
That'll be top 5 somewhere.
Where
you'd imagine?
Did it go? Days Gone. Yeah, Days Gone was
and also
4th.
The fan base is wild for it.
Yeah, Days Gone was 4th with 3.4 million, and Marvel Spider-Man with 2.7 million at 5th place. So
I don't think they'll object. Like, if you make 1.2 billion on a game that you don't really have to invest that much into anymore, like in a series of games, you don't even have to invest that much resource into. They go, okay, sweet, it's free money. We're speaking to another audience. We're doing what the community wants us to do. thanks for lacing our wallets.
Yeah, and I think that's where Sony is approaching it. They're like, dear God, where they're like, oh, this is free money in a lot of ways. The disadvantage of delaying it by 18 months approximately is that, especially with like The Last of Us Part 2 as an example, the reviews of that eventually, weren't well, of that game in general, very similar to Forbidden West. Spider-Man 2, I think, had a lot, people bitched about that with all the wokiness or whatever. So a lot of the sequels that have appeared, even Ragnarok does it with all the Agrabota stuff. So all those sequels sadly did fit within that culture war shit. And I imagine a lot of the most vocal, disgusting people in that space are probably playing PC. So it's highly expected that they either didn't buy it or they pirated that shit. That's a very big assumption on my part, a huge assumption on my part, dripping in stereotype.
We have a dirty pirate in our midst, so.
But yeah.
Oh,
man.
He's up.
But yeah, like I think that's the thing. The novelty's there. It's really cool, and everyone's like, all those port begs, etc. And back in the day, and then they finally get there and no one buys, which is expected of most vocal communities on the internet. Anytime they're like, bring this, and they do, and no one buys it. But sorry, mate.
But I mean, to be fair, they were like, bring this a week after it launched, not bring this a year and a half later.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, that's not PlayStation's strategy, nor is it never has been. So,
No, of course, but I don't think you could use the argument of like they wanted it, but they chose not to buy. I'm like, no, they wanted it when it was originally out before they saw a year and a half worth of fucking spoilers, and then they're like, well, we don't need to buy this now. We've seen the whole game.
Cool. Then they like it's this weird line, right? And there is something within the world of fucking gamers that have this level of entitlement that something should be everywhere. Like, it's like, should be exactly where I want it to be. It's like, no, it's fucking private, right? These are walled gardens by design. If you want to play it, you buy a fucking PlayStation. If you like, there's the same as me. Like, I know that Padge literally before was like, why the fuck is this game not on my PlayStation? And I've had that argument before as well.
When was that?
I know, was it that MMO Reforged or whatever?
Oh, Guild Wars. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I was outraged by it, but like I was like, I think it's more of a good opportunity, right?
No, but you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, so there's been times where I'm like, oh, I'm just going to have to play it on PC if I want to play it, right? It's the same as like, I want to watch this on VHS. Like, no, you buy a fucking Blu-ray or you go to a particular
fucking
streaming.
No one ever.
Says no one ever. But you get my point, right? Is the idea is like... There are decisions made by businesses to put them in certain places. Now, of course, Microsoft was doing that viciously for a while. We think back to all their timed exclusives. And now suddenly that they're like, well, that fucking didn't work for us. Let's go everywhere. Everyone's like, oh, that seems like the best answer. But Nintendo never fucking does it. No point has a Nintendo game ever made it to PC. But I imagine, weirdly enough, I think it would sell like mental. Like absolute mental if it ever went to PC, Nintendo games. And Max has frozen once again.
Yes.
Excuse me.
We'll soldier on.
We'll soldier on as long as we can because like it will reposition itself if Max drops out. So
it will. Yes. You just need to be ready on that trigger finger.
Yeah, that's true. But let's keep going. So like, look, for me, it's good dollars. I don't think PlayStation should reduce the time frame at which their PlayStation release to their PC release, because fuck them. Especially now, like, with the console market as it is in general, like it just... Excuse me. As I agree that PlayStation does and has needed to get with the times, and I have been on the wrong side of some of those discussions previously. Like, I was originally adamant that PlayStation didn't need to capitulate to cross-play, like as in cross-platform play. But now, in hindsight, I was so wrong. And I imagine I might become wrong about this, but as the market as it should be, it's an additional $1 billion revenue. Granted, it's 5 years of revenue, so it's not like a good hunk of money. but it's something. And I think
and a lot of it would have been early on too. There we go. You might need to fix that layout.
that's going to take me a second.
That's all right. We'll keep chatting in the meantime.
Well, let's just chat in general bullshit for a second until Max returns.
Let's talk general bullshit. Or do you want me to do some quick biddies?
Well, the point is because I said that way I can just cut it. I'll cut the 2 points when he comes back into the shot.
Some tactics. Live people will never know.
That's it. So what I'll do is I'll make this scene, and then I'll just do this, and I'll go window capture, and I'll be like, yo, this one. That didn't work at all.
Hit him with an ad.
There you go. At least for the moment, you'll get just Padge and I. Actually, even if I just do it this way, and then I just edit it later. It's a bit more work.
Drop it into a layout. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. But look, am I like, I know I'm being aggressive, but like I feel like, and probably like over opinionated about the PC stuff, but like, am I off? The answer is probably yes. That's
I don't know. Okay. I think there's pros and cons to all of it, and again, I think it's just about PlayStation working out what's the sweet spot, so they make the money they want to make.
Excellent. All right. Well, I agree. Like that thing is, we don't know whether Max is going to return. Let's get into the quick bits. It is also 9:30. Could have just bounced to go to work.
True.
All right. This is the quick bits. Now, first things first. Before we even jump into that one, let's get into this. Padge, you and I, and Max, we were all kindly asked to provide something pretty cool for PlayStation Australia as part of the 30th anniversary celebration event over the last couple of weeks. So earlier in the month, they did this thing in Brisbane, an activation where like a portal through the wall and what looked like one of Ratchet and Clank's sort of ships was then in the dirt outside this building, sort of building up this larger than life big activation between PlayStation and environmental setups. So was it last weekend?
Yeah, not this past one, the one before.
Yeah, so 2 weekends ago, over the 15th and 16th.
When your computer was busy dying.
When my busy was computer dying. While I clear my throat again. PlayStation Australia set up a big event for the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation at the Circular Quay in Sydney. The big thing they had with the big marquee event was a giant PlayStation 1 memory card, and where the sticker would have been, for those who remember the memory cards back in the day, there was a screen. We as creators, as people that work alongside PlayStation, were sent requests, be like, hey, would you guys like to add to this? As they did ask everyone on their contact list, I assume. But so the idea was like, share a PlayStation memory you have, and we'll throw it up on the thing. All three of us did, and all three of us made the cut. It was lovely.
Thanks, team.
Like for me, it was really lovely. So my little memory was, talking about how PlayStation, it runs in our family. Like my dad bought me my PlayStation, my love, which brought my love of PlayStation to the world, and then followed by my son, who in turn loves gaming because of me. So it's become this 3-generational thing. My dad may never have been a player of games, but he can most certainly.
But he was certainly an enabler.
Yeah, he is, because I asked him, like even semi-recently, I was like, so what made you decide to like buy it? And he was like, just because I thought you'd enjoy it. He goes, I didn't realize you'd get a fucking tattooed on your arm and it would become, such a massive part of your existence. But I just did it because I thought it'd be fun. And yeah, so then there's a lovely picture of myself and my kid on this memory card, and I showed him, and his brain exploded, which was really, really sweet. He thought it was really quite excited. And yeah, you put one up as well. I think you put a memory of Final Fantasy, I think.
Yeah, I put a memory of Max just sent a message in our chat just saying fucking internet. So yeah, Mum and Dad bought me the PS2 for Christmas. I played Final Fantasy X within a week, and then jumped straight back into it again. That was essentially the big recollection there. Excuse my background noise now. There's a good bit of rain that's just started pouring down on the roof.
Started raining.
Yeah. Just adds a bit of mood to everyone's podcast. But yeah, that was my one. What did Max put down?
Let me find out. I do have them. Actually, I have them on my phone. I could have just read them out this entire time. But certainly, like a really cool little pop up. I love the idea. I thought it was really creative. For Max Hero, watching my 5-year-old daughter Platinum Astrobot, it's become her favorite game, and we constantly fight over the PS5 as she deletes her save to play it again. For yours, it was said, waking up at Christmas to my PS2 from my parents, along with Final Fantasy X, and I had the game finished within a week and was instantly into a second playthrough. And yeah, for mine, it said PlayStation runs deep in my family, my dad to me, and now my son. Like Kratos and Atreus or Sam and Lou, we're stronger together. It's more than games, it's memories. And there is, for those playing at home, that is the picture there of what it would look like with all of that. So that was really sweet, really lovely. Quite happy with that. It's just another little thing that my son can add to his cool memories of, and like just how weirdly ingrained PlayStation is to us as family and people. And it's on a complete side note, especially as we're sitting here in the 30th anniversary of it all, and doing things like this. And I always wonder, I'm like, am I too deep into the PlayStation's patch? Like, am I
No.
heading into dangerous territory? Am I just a shill at this point? And the answer is probably yeah.
No, go deeper. Balls deep.
Balls deep, you say? Well, in that case, maybe I need myself a new monitor.
Yes, go get a PS5 Pro.
Well, they are on. Oh, actually, that's before we jump into that. Black Friday sales here in Australia, they are going as we speak. Now, I'm going to pull up the JB Hi-Fi website, not just because I work there, but also...
Because you're a dirty shill.
Because I'm a dirty shill. But as Padge points out, now is the best time to buy a PS5, because a PS5 Slim Digital is the cheapest I think I've ever seen it at $479.
That's wild.
The version with the disc is $629, which is, it's interesting. That's like so much money for just the fucking hard drive. But what is really interesting, for the first time ever, the PS5 Pro is on sale. It is 979 Australian dollar dues. That's down $220.
It's a good deal.
So that's a dope deal. Absolutely fantastic deal. So if you were in the market for a PS5, now is probably the time. Look, I'm in this weird moment. Like, actually, we'll discuss this because you've got a Pro. Excuse me, I don't. But it's one of those circumstances of I really want one, but I think I want one for the novelty of it. And having it be on sale right now, I'm like, ooh. But
oh, I'm feeling that novelty.
yeah, PS6 is probably only a couple of years away. By the sounds, like a lot of games genuinely run worse on Pro than they do on PS5 standard. But like, what's your experience with it? Like,
I've never had a game struggle on it. Like, I've never had a problem with it.
Has it been worth the non-investment?
Well, that's the big wrinkle in my one, right? Is that I didn't pay a cent for it. So, that certainly helps make me go, yeah, it's great. Definitely worth a buy. I mean, look, the performance improvements, the visual improvements, like, they're there, but then it's all like with any of these sorts of Pro console purchases, and I guess I can connect to it a little bit because I made the investment on the PS4 Pro back in the day. It's really just down to, like, do you think you're going to actually extract something from this? Does the steady 60 or the ability to push beyond 60 matter to you? Does the 4K visuals at that level that they can now output, like, does that matter to you? And that's all a subjective thing, right?
I think the frame rate is probably the thing that would,
like, how much can you justify that?
Most.
Like, that's, yeah. Oh, sorry, and obviously that was a rhetorical thing for the listener, viewer right now, or anyone else. Like, if you can look at what the differences are and go, I can justify that, and that's where everyone's use case, their own financials come into it, then go buy it.
Well, like
Absolutely.
yeah, so I'm thinking
It's a great
about
console.
thinking about it in answer to that. Granted, is a rhetorical question. Be like, okay, well, is it something that I'm really needing? Like the visuals, sweet. I have an incredible TV. The PS5 already looks fantastic on it. The frame, like I'm noticing more and more, especially as I have spent more time playing games on my PC as well, that I am becoming very, very aware of frame rates. I can tell what a 30 is and what a 60 is. Like even pulling up Red Dead the other day, I was like, oh shit, this is running at 30 and it's rough. Like there's motion blur all over the joint. I'm like, can I fuck with it? Can I bump it? Can I change it? And the answer was no. There was no way for me to do anything around like any sort of graphical improvements or adjustments, which is a real bummer.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, that's
Whereas
probably
for
the
me,
major
like
thing.
as much as I'm also one that benefits, like I've got the Pro, but like I'm not at all traumatized by going back to a game at 30. I now notice it, which I certainly didn't before.
I think
but
that's
it
what I
doesn't bother
mean.
me.
Yeah,
Like,
like
okay.
I noticed it. I wasn't like, ooh.
Toggle back into that mode within seconds.
Yeah, and I
All
think
right,
that
cool. This is what it is. Great.
having that ability to then toggle it's probably the big differentiator, I think.
Oh, I mean, in here, like it just.
Oh, okay.
I just. The brain goes, yeah, okay, we're back. Look, play the game.
Yeah, look, now
Play
of
it
course,
for what
like
it
we
is.
don't.
Play it as it lies, in the great words of the iconic film Happy Gilmore.
Now, like yeah, yes, you had that awesome luxury of very kindly being sent one from the team over at PlayStation Australia. So big thank you for them for allowing you just to have this conversation with Padge and ask these questions. Ideally, I would love to test one, and even if I send it back, I don't give a shit. I just want to fuck with it for a little bit and go, hey, thanks, bye. And then I'm like, is it worth my money?
I had my
And
experience.
then I'll go buy it. Like same as like the DualSense or those fucking earpod thingies. Like I want to just try them and be like, is this worth the investment for whether it be ourselves or the listeners, whichever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's always 1,000 videos and stuff out there. We're just two small guys, by the way. If you want to see us do cool shit like that, please help this show get out there and do bigger and better things. And like that would include
Yeah, good word.
and that would include that PS5 getting an official monitor. We did touch upon it a couple times now. We'll get there. So as part of that State of Play on PS5, the State of Play Japan thingy, official monitor, 27 inches, has a DualSense charging dock on the monitor. So like normally we may plug your headphones, you go boom, but you charge your controller. Love that little feature. Downside though, only in the US and Japan.
Yeah, that's not cool. I would have probably gone and done it.
Yeah, I would have bought one. I probably would have actively
getting a
considered
big payout the next few months, and I wouldn't mind using it on something.
Well, as someone that has less money than ever before, I probably wouldn't. But I'd like the idea because, like, I do rock a 2-monitor setup here. I got a 4K gigabyte in the middle and an ultra wide LG on my left. But I would actively consider having that monitor here in some capacity. Like I'm like knowing like the difference here. Which is not a difference that you have to face, Padge, as you've got 3 consoles in your house. I would love to...
I'm going to be that guy that does the 3 PS3s, 4 PS4s, and 5 PS5 videos. I'm going to be that bloke.
Because I would love to have like a console down here to play at the desk. So in case Phoebe wanted to use the TV or wanted to play her own thing up there, I could still come down here. And having a monitor that would be built for that would be really cool. There are some interesting things around the monitor, though. It is not 4K. It is... 1440p.
1440, yeah.
It's interesting, but it is running at the full. I think it can hit 240 hertz, so it works well for PC, but it can certainly hit the 120 that the PS5 is capable of. It's not an OLED; it's a standard panel by the looks of it, so it may or may not be brilliant, but it's a cool concept. And in conjunction with the Elevate speakers that they announced in the State of Play previous.
Which also look really cool.
They look so cool. They are really, really finding a way to mix the world of people that play PC at their desk, but they may have their console at their desk, because Max does. Max runs a 3-monitor setup. His consoles live at his desk. His PC's at his desk. He's all in the one location. So for some, it's probably not a bad thing to have.
I should go more displays. I've only got 2.
2 does seem like enough, though.
Yeah, true. Otherwise, we become Max, and he can't even get a functioning internet connection.
No, it's the worst. All right, well, because I did jump in and take off that first quick bitty. Back to you, Padge. What's the next one?
Right. According to Jason Schreier and Jeff Grubb, we won't be seeing Intergalactic at the Game Awards, and it won't be coming in 2026. This is in response to Colin Moriarty on a podcast being asked what he thought about it, and he expressed his thoughts.
He said, in my opinion,
in my opinion, this, but apparently people can't process speculation. And
this is the downside of being
that as definitive answer, which then allowed
analysis,
the people who are, maybe have some genuine insight here to kind of come out and share those details. But yeah, it looks people having a crack at Colin. Those people get fucked. Yeah, Ubisoft is all in on generative AI as a big revolution for our industry as the shift to 3D. No, 3D improved games, Ubisoft. AI is fucking them.
Yeah. So this is interesting, especially with like Ubisoft like not announcing their revenue. Was it Ubisoft that's like, oh, we're not going to tell you our revenue numbers because we have something to do that may fuck with them? And the answer is this. Because if they came out and said, oh, these are our numbers, talk about generative AI, and I imagine that their stocks would tank or have tanked. I hope they have tanked.
There's Max and his internet in the chat.
But why is it always the worst companies that want to do this shit, Padge? Like, whether it be, like, I say that, like Square Enix with their shitty tactics and games never hitting expectations, they're all the ones that dived into NFTs, which we should all never forget that they tried that really hard. But, yeah, generative AI is disgusting. Computational AI is fine. We're using it for years and years and years, but generative AI is gross.
Yeah, I don't get it. But also on that note, the Horizon MMO, so Still Frontiers, is using AI extensively.
That's not what Max wrote.
In
he
development
wrote
according to NC Soft. Yeah, that's right. He's not a literate guy. He doesn't have working internet. He's got problems.
Jesus Christ.
It's called spell checker, mate. It would have helped you fix that.
Look, he did write this like as we were starting the call, so it is kind of on us. That's literally what the quote was, you fuck. Oh, really?
Evtensively.
That's not a fuck. Is that a word? He put it in quotes. I thought you put it in quotes to highlight your own.
I wonder if that's just the typo.
No, it is a typo because extensively is like...
Surely it's not in the press release.
Extensively is not the word. Now, we normally steal our news from Push Square, so let me check.
In the meantime, while Ryan fact checks that one, Sony's bagged 19 nominations for Game Awards categories thanks to Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2.
He wrote he did write Death Stranding. What a ledge. He does it just to fuck with us half the time.
That's literally what the quote was, Max. We love him. And his dodgy internet.
Horizon. Nope. God damn. Whatever.
Intensive use.
I'm gonna take his
anyway.
word for
like,
it.
I mean, obviously, great effort from PlayStation to basically put out 2 games this year and still clean up a whole bunch of nominations. Ghost got robbed as being a part of the top 6, as far as I'm concerned.
Let's do this. Let's jump into the Game Awards nominees for a second.
Probably still can't vote. There's probably all these bots that are just voting for weeby shit.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so let's have a look at the Game of the Year. So these are the 6 nominees. I always thought there were more. Was there 8 one year?
Or maybe, but certainly I only remember 6.
All right. Well, these are the 6 nominees for Game of the Year. They include Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I was gonna
pick that shit out.
So look, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is fucking incredible as a truly explorable RPG. I had a blast with it. Silksong makes sense. It's such an easy throw in. Hades 2, sure, everyone has bonus for Hades. Death Stranding 2
is the top reviewed game of the year. So
there's because they said everyone has bonus for Silksong and Hades. Death Stranding 2 is unquestionably spectacular. Like, in my opinion, it is objectively brilliant. And it should win Game of the Year, but that's because I've not...
In my subjective opinion, it's objectively this.
Correct. Did that on purpose. I was fucking with Colin's misquoting earlier. But it seems to be pretty consistent that Claire Obscure is the one to beat.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Now, Max, you're in the chat as well.
It's probably my Game of the Year. It's not like the way you hear it spoken about, you would think it is so far ahead it's not funny. I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, maybe in terms of what actually occurs here, like if we were to look at some data, maybe it wins by an absolute mile. I don't think if we're just, and again, this is the subjectivity or objectivity, all that sort of rubbish, but like if we're just trying to somehow compare these things in terms of some miraculous quality bar, I think the gap between Clair Obscur and the rest of the games out this year is not enormous.
It does feel pretty close. Like, there's a couple of years ago, I think it may have been, it would have been 2018, like God of War and Red Dead, and like there were so many intense games. Yeah, Spoods was in there as well. There's like a lot of big hitters in the one window, which has caused that. The only one that like I'm unsure of, and it does feel like mostly there because Nintendo needs a game of the year, would be Donkey Kong Bonanza. Should it be in there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've got no issues with Donkey Kong.
So what about it puts it in there? Because I said I've not seen it, not played it. I looked at it and I went, really?
Look, for me, it'd be right near the bottom end of that 6.
Mm-hmm.
But it is. I mean, it's a high quality platformer. Like it does a lot of what Mario Odyssey did. Does it really well once again, and it has a great sense of humor. It's just a great playing experience. Like I really enjoyed it. It probably the reason why for me it kind of trails towards the bottom end of that list is that it probably overstayed its welcome a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, pretty incredible.
Well, okay, let's rip through a couple of the other categories as well. Very similar to the Oscars, you just kind of go to the couple, some that are most important. Like Best Direction is Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2. That should be in with a high chance, being Kojima. Ghost of Yota, I don't think will win it, but it's pretty cool. Hades 2, and Split Fiction. So Joseph Ferris gets a little bit of love again. I thought Split Fiction was fantastic. I think from a complete game vision and delivery, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I need to play it with my wife.
Oh, fantastic. I played it with my kid. It was awesome. See if you want to clear my throat again.
You're right. Do what you got to do.
Man,
hurl that phlegmy shit up.
See, this is total TMI for those playing at home. But like, because I have like an overactive immune system at the best of times, right? It's this problem that I've had forever. So I have to take a steroid spray at the start of my day to tell my nose to calm the fuck down. So towards the end of the day, it starts like it all wears off, and it's like, oh, cool. So then it gets all, my shit inside my nose gets all inflamed and gross, and a lot that cough comes from.
It just spirals.
This is where it gets really gross. The cough comes from the shit from my nose dripping back into my throat, which then makes me cough, which then agitates my throat, which makes me cough more.
Yeah, I know it. That's fine. Been there, done that. It's gross.
And it's shitting me. All right. So Best Narrative is another good one as well. Clair Obscur 30 Exhibition 33. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Narrative was fucking weird but incredible. Ghost of Yota. I'm sure Phoebe can speak to that, and so can yourself. Kingdom Come Deliverance. I never finished it, but I did like it. And Silent Hill F.
I'm not done with it.
Yeah. How deep are you into it?
Not nearly enough to be able to comment on it in that regard.
Okay, cool.
There's like a backlog of games. That is one of them, like that I've taken on codes and I'm going to be reviewing, but they're like so far behind. Thanks, Mikey.
What are you playing on?
In due course. PS5. Like I got it on PS5.
Did you get like that back in the day, like around launch?
F.
Yeah. Yeah, because I reached out and he was like, "You ain't got none." I'm like, "Dang."
Yeah, there was a fat stack of shit that I was reviewing. That one came in. Things were going all right. Things got derailed. He goes, "That's all right. Just get it done when it's done." Like, all right, awesome, thanks.
Well, so in the chat, Mute mentions
here we are. Here we are. It's almost December now.
Well, I still haven't really messed with Metal Gear either. I've gone into it a couple times, but I think that might be my next one. I'm probably gonna really try hunker in on. So this is where it gets interesting. In the chat, Mute goes, "Surprise, Blueprints is not in a lot of categories." So let's go into best indie game or his best independent game. So it says here, from outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside, the traditional publisher system. So there's an interesting line there. Absolem, which I've never heard of. Ball Pit, which apparently is sick. Blueprints, that's where it makes pretty much its only appearance. Clair Obscur, which I think is it technically might be independent, but it's bizarre. to have it in there.
Yeah, it's published by Kepler Interactive.
Yeah, Hades 2 and then Hollow Knight. I think Hollow Knight should probably win that. And like, I don't think it'd be fair if Claire Obscure gets it. But Blueprints was also pretty fucking fantastic too.
I mean, look, I would argue in the same way that Claire Obscure is no good because it's published by Kepler.
Mm-hmm.
Blueprints shouldn't be either because it's published by Raw Fury. Like,
but then could you then argue the same about
it,
Devolver? Like, Devolver are a bigger publisher that is their entire gimmick.
Sorry, there's others in there. Sorry, that was just the game you honed in on. Like, really, I feel like you're down to it should be, I don't know, like, are we getting too narrow if we then say self-published and self-published only?
Or maybe there needs to be a best self-published category.
Yeah. Like, because then I go, oh shit, so does that take us down to Silk Song, Hades, and that's about it?
Yeah, I guess, sadly. But look, yeah, we'll go through,
because the whole thing is, like, traditional publisher. I'm like, I'm sorry, but, Kepler, Devolver, Raw Fury, these are publishers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the keyword being outside of the traditional publisher system. They are all traditional. Like, they are almost definitely traditional publishers.
Yeah. So that's why I don't think they should count.
Because what was it? What was it a couple years ago that we had the same problem? Well, like, that's not an indie game. Oh, Dave Diver.
Yeah, Dave the Diver. Yeah, so the whole thing's flawed. They just got to change the framing of it.
But yeah, so while I think about it, so there are, even though we just had a week off, there are 2 more weeks of recording in us. We will be finishing up at the last episode of the year being posted on the 16th of December because we will, give ourselves a couple of weeks heading into Christmas. So that is the week of the Game Awards. So our last show of the year will be discussing the winners of the Game Awards, as also discussing our Game of the Year awards as well. We may stick to our traditional rules that we've done in the past, which is like our best game of the year, best game of not this year, best independent game, and I think it was like most disappointing game of the year. We might throw some other categories in there because that's the ones we normally do. We've done for the last X amount of years. But with yourself joining us, Padge, maybe we can spruce up a little bit and have some fun with it. And we also get to resolve our Metacritic draft too, which only ruins me because looking at the list, 2 of the games out of my 8 didn't release this year, where all of Max's have.
So next year, whilst we still have Seasonal Padge up and running, the 2 of you are going to do your draft again. I won't partake, but I'm going to sit on the sidelines and I'm going to chirp the shit out of the both of you.
Well, look, who's to say that you, like, because once again, this is something that's done at the start of the year and the end of the year. And, like, your Seasonal Padge is the beginning and the end of the year. So, like, you could always throw it in at the beginning and then just kind of fuck off. And then come back at the end of the year and just, like, win out of nowhere. Because right now, like, Max and I tend to go, like, win one year and he wins the other, and it's just backwards and forwards. It's pretty much whoever picks first tends to either lose, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, like, adding a third person in there could have some fun, spice up a little bit.
Stretches a bit with games. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we normally do it like the first or second show of the new year, so that'll be fun. But that's enough of them quick bits. Let's get into the games that are coming out this week. They are, on the 25th of November, you get Alia on PS5, Kill It With Fire 2, PS5, PS4, Pools, PS5, Project Motor Racing, PS5, Shadowgate VR, The Mines of Mythrock, on PSVR 2, I should say. 26th of November, you get Schlidmade, that sounds like a racial slur, MX, PS5 4. 27th of November, Bubble Bobble Sugar Dungeons, PS5, Crescent Tower on PS5, Street Racer Collection, PS5, PS4, The Last Case of John Morley, PS5, excuse me, 28th of November, B-Sim The Hive, PS5, PS4, Dragon Ruins 2, PS5, PS4, the 30th of November, Bakura, PS5 4, and Maid of Skur VR on PSVR 2. Don't forget, says Max in the chat, no, Max, next week you'll have to do your own news doc. What the fuck? His internet's unreliable and we have to do a news doc?
Great.
Think about all the non-weeb shit we could make the news about, Padge.
Oh, be about real video games that people care about.
And here is 25 minutes on Powerwash Simulator 2.
Here, let me talk about Octopath Traveller 0.
Beautiful. But that does bring us to the end of the show. Big thank you as always for spending some time with us as we sit here in your ear holes, as I mostly cough through your ear holes. I'm going to have to just drop another Telfast before I do these things. I drop a Ritalin to keep myself focused, and I need to have another Telfast or a Zyrtec.
Just over medicate live on
Oh,
show.
dude, all I do is over medicate. Whether it be with my Ritalin or my meds that I take at night or my fucking hay fever, I am. You know when you think about like, man, how would have that person survived in the Middle Ages? That's me. I'd be fucked. I'd be so fucking dead.
Next week, if my back's still giving me the shits by then, which it shouldn't, but if it is, you can pop those. I'll grab a couple anti-inflammatories and we'll just knock ourselves out on camera.
Get yourself some like hardcore, painkillers. Just get some benzos.
It's a fine line between being a math teacher and a meth dealer.
Hey, well, look, there's a whole precedent of science teachers selling drugs. So who says math couldn't also do the same? But anyways, as I said, big thank you to everyone for joining us. We really appreciate taking the time, as I said. We'll be back next week with just Padge and myself as we head back, as we finish up for the penultimate recording of the year. But let's get out of here. So this PlayStation Conversation happens every Tuesday morning on your podcast service. On every Tuesday morning on your podcast services at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. on your YouTubes. It's my social media of choice. All the links are down below. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, though, twitch.tv/PopCulturists, where you can watch us record the show live, where you jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you want to support us financially, you can patreon.com/thepopculturists. Now, if you want to check out Padge's Octopath Traveller 0 preview, and are there any other work you've got up in the last 2 weeks?
I mean, Age of Empires will go up as well. And so, hit up player2.net.au. So, go check that out, as well as episodes of Patch and more too. So,
so Patch is a fun little show that you do with your friend and contributor, Matto Phil.
Yeah.
I said Patto Phil there. I always got it backwards. Matto Phillips, dope dude. Fun show. I did almost pillage your idea of was it the 10 games that define us? I know it was a meme gimmick thing that was going on the internet, and once you did, I was like, fuck, why didn't we do that? It would have been a really good idea. But either way, until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm Paul James.
And I'm Max Cooper. And we'll see you then. Man, a week off, and my flow has been off this entire time. I feel fucking scattered.
Rest in peace, Max.
Oh, it's a shame. That's what happens when Max isn't here. I'm all frazzled. I need him. He's like my comfort podcast thing.